Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Aileen here, and looking forward to our live session this morning. I'm back on StreamYard, but I will be keeping an eye out in the group as well to see if there's any comments coming in. If you're joining me here this morning, please do say good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. And also, if you're watching on replay, hashtag replay. Now, I know there's several people who are watching this on replay because you've told me. One particular lady told me that she watches it every Friday evening with a gin and tonic, so she catches up on it much later in the afternoon. So obviously, comments like that make my heart sing. So if you enjoy these sessions, don't forget to tell me. Don't forget to tell me that you use this for your dose of inspiration on a Friday morning. And as usual, just when I come on live, my nose gets itchy. I don't know when my nose gets itchy, but it gets itchy sometimes when I come on live. I wonder, is it because somebody is talking about me? That's an old kind of suspicion, or I don't know what you'd call it really, that Irish people have, that if you have an itchy nose, somebody's talking about you. Who else has heard that suspicion? So I see Danielle joining me here this morning. Hey, Danielle, great to see you. What time is it where you are? I'm just having a sip of water. I'm giving people a few minutes to find me before I start going. At this stage, you should actually be feeling into the new year and ready to go, basically. We are now on the 7th of January, and a lot of people kind of started back to work this week, and maybe some of you are starting next week, I'm not so sure. So this morning's session is going to be sharpish again, as usual. And I'm going to be talking about, let me find my little notes. I'm going to be talking about the 5 biggest mistakes most people make when selling. Now, I know that for a lot of you, selling is a sticky subject. So I'm going to talk about some of the mistakes that I see happening. But first of all, I really want to talk about selling versus serving, because to me, it's not, you have to move away from the idea that you're selling something to someone, and instead understand that you're serving them. You're helping them to get something that they want. You're helping them to get to a place in their life that they want. You're helping them to achieve something. So you have to kind of think of selling in a different way. I definitely don't think about selling as selling. I think about it as serving. How can I help people? And obviously get a monetary return for that. So I think understanding first off that you really need to move away from the idea of selling and move towards serving. Now, sell, not serve. I'm sure many of you have heard me speaking about this before, but I'm going to go into a little bit more detail this morning. So first up, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you like selling? Have you had any training in selling? What comes up in your mind when you think about selling? Does it be scared the bejesus out of you? I know it did me for many, many years. But like anything else, it is a skill. And as I said, we're moving away from selling and we're serving people. So how can I serve people? Because I think once we move into that idea that we're selling, we kind of move into this kind of negative emotion, and we feel resistance, we feel pressure, we feel pushback, and nobody performs at their best when they're feeling those kind of emotions. And also, the person that you're trying to sell to can intuitively feel all this. They can see all this. So moving into high pressure selling is not a good strategy, if you ask me, You really want to focus on serving people and uncovering the value of what you provide so that they can see how what you're providing is going to improve the quality of life, of their life, or get them what they want. Because that's all people are really interested. They're just really interested in what's in it for me. And if you can't show them what's in it for them, they're probably not going to buy. And that's why you serve at a high level to get people to. I've seen some comments now. Breda said, it sometimes doesn't feel authentic. Exactly. So I'm going to challenge some of your thoughts around that now, Breda. I think if you are focusing, not just you, Breda, for everyone. Lucy's joining us here this morning. Hey, Lucy. Danielle is joining from Brazil. Fantastic. Welcome, Danielle. So I think it's about where you're coming from. If you come from a place of, I want to help people, I want to serve people, I want them to feel like I felt when I first availed of this service. I want them to be able to take the next steps in their lives with confidence, whether that's to get a job, whether it's to meet a man, whether it's just to find their purpose again in life. I mean, what you're providing is very, very, very valuable. And rather than focusing on, I'm trying to sell to them and get money, you need to shift it and think, what will happen if this person invests in me? How will their life improve? And that, if you focus on that rather than selling, it shifts things. It definitely shifts things. Julie's here this morning. Brilliant. Lucy's here this morning. I have learned and still have to practice listening rather than talking. That is so important. Such an important point, Lucy, because we have to understand what our client wants, what problem they have, and only then prescribe or suggest that what we offer is indeed going to help them. So it's not about just all the time talking, as you rightly point out. It's to understand as well that you have to understand their problem first. Excuse me. Most people don't understand a person's problem before they go in and try and sell a program. I know I definitely did that at the start. And I have learned over the years to first really understand what the problem is, and then to honestly suggest whether you think your program is going to help them or not. Sometimes it won't, and sometimes it's a bad fit. Danielle says, we have to detach a little from the outcome of the contact and focus on what you said in serving and the subjective value of the exchange. Exactly, Danielle. We have to detach a little bit from the outcome. And that's one of the things I always remind myself when I'm going into a call with somebody. I'm always thinking, how can I help them? And to detach from the idea, are they going to buy or not going to buy? Because that frees me up to give my best. I'm not just focusing on the selling at the end. I'm really focusing on helping the person. And when you really focus on helping the person and they can see that that's your genuine interest, they're much more likely to buy from you. Much more likely to buy from you. Not everyone, but if you're coming from that kind of space of detachment, and it doesn't matter whether they buy from me or not, it's a completely different conversation. It really is. And I'm kind of gone off freelance already. I have 5 mistakes here that I'm going to go through, but we've got off to a great discussion this morning, and I just want to have that conversation, because people do know if you're genuine or not. They do know if you're trying to do a hard sell. They can feel it. They can absolutely feel it. And oftentimes our aversion to selling is that somebody has done that to us. So we have been, at the receiving end of somebody trying to sell us something. I remember one time in Singapore, myself and my husband, he wasn't my husband at the time, but we were walking down the street, and somebody encouraged us to come in. They were showing these time-sharing homes around the world, and oh my goodness, we had no idea what we were getting into, and it turned really ugly. It was just a really horrible experience to be hard sold to like that. And those kind of experiences do impact us. They do impact how we perceive selling. And we think it's icky, and we think it's wrong, and we think we're doing something to someone because maybe that has been done to you in the past. So let me go into my first mistake that I see people making around selling. And that is thinking that selling is something you do to people, not for people. Now, when you think of selling, you think, I'm going to sell to someone. So you're doing something for them. Rather than if you're doing something for someone, you are serving them. So move away from selling, move toward selling. You are not doing something to someone. You are helping someone. You are serving someone. So a more practical example of that is, say, for instance, my high ticket program. In my high ticket program, I teach personal stylists, I mentor them to have consistent 8 to 10K months. I believe that if I can get that result, when I get that result for my clients, I am giving them an invaluable gift for the rest of their lives. I'm giving something to them that's going to give back to them over and over and over again. It's going to set them up for life. It's going to get them, the house of their dreams. It's going to get them the car of their dreams. It's going to get them money that they can spend to help their family and build relationships and doing all sorts of things. So I'm not focusing on, the price of the program I get in. I'm focusing on what getting them that result means for them. It also means a lot for me because I can have all those things as well. But the two are not mutually exclusive. And that's the difference between selling and serving. So I think mistake number one, thinking that selling thinking that selling is something you do to people, not for people. I believe that selling or serving is something you do for people. You help them. Salespeople are really the backbone of the economy. Believe it or not, there would be no economy if you didn't have people who sell things, and nearly everyone has to sell in one way or another. The local boulangerie has to sell their goods and we get yummy food. The local pet groomer sells their services. So why is teaching somebody a new skill yucky? It makes the world go around. If there was no salespeople in the world, and at the end of the day, guys, as personal stylists, we have to be good salespeople. We have to be good at serving people so that we can help more people. We contribute to the economy. We help our families. We contribute to our families' financial support, or indeed, many of us, we are the sole breadwinners in the family. So we have to think in terms of, really learning to love the idea of selling and really learning to love the idea of serving, which I see as one and the same. Okay, so that's mistake number one. What's everyone thinking so far? You've heard it all before. It makes sense. It doesn't make sense. Pop your comments in there because it helps me to help you, basically. Number two, the biggest mistake I see around selling is people not making enough offers. People make an offer once, nobody buys, so they basically say, well, that doesn't really work, or that doesn't make me feel good, so I'm never doing that again. Nobody can buy from you unless you make an offer. So you need to make more offers, whether that's more offers of of getting people on a call with you, whether that is, making more offers of what you provide, whether that is, all the different ways that you can make an offer to help people get the result that you provide. They are not going to advance in their life until you give them the solution. So you're the one providing this solution so that, they can feel happier in their life, they can have a better quality of life, they can have a better relationship with themselves, they can have a better relationship with their husband. Again, you're looking to see how you can, all of you I know, make other people's lives better by what you provide, by what you serve to people every day. So number 2 is not making enough offers. Make more. Simple as that. I practically make an offer every time I come on live here. I make offers in my posts every day. I make offers whenever basically I put in any work. I'll give people an offer of a chance to work with me, how they can take the next steps with me. And you need to learn how to do that too. Okay, number 3. This is quite common actually, and I see it all the time. Selling what you desire to sell instead of what the marketplace wants to buy. So I am warned from talking about this, the fact that what is the problem that your client wants to solve? That's what you need to sell to them. So that's why you'll often hear me saying, stop selling color analysis. Is that really a problem that people see that they have, that they need to get their colors done? Stop selling style. They might have the problem that their relationship is broken down and they, have lost themselves a bit and they're trying to find themselves again. Do they really see, color analysis as the answer? So selling what you desire to sell instead of what the marketplace wants to buy. And that ties back in a little bit to Daniela's comment as well about listening. You have to listen to what the problem is and dig deeper and understand people and what the problem is. What is the deep problem that oftentimes these people won't even tell you straight out? But if you know your ideal client really, really well, you should know what these deep pain points are and what they really want to have in their lives. And if you don't know that, then it's going to be very, very hard to sell them. It's going to be very hard to serve them. It's going to be they won't buy from you because they don't see you as the solution. They have to see that what you provide is the solution. So selling what you desire to sell instead of what the marketplace wants to buy is a key mistake that I see all the time, and one that you really need to look to sorting out by listening. Go back over the messages you get from your clients. Go back over past clients. What is the deep problem that they feel you're solving for them? And sort that out. So that's a lot of the work I do in the Ideal Client Challenge. And I do believe that we have to know our ideal client really, really well, because if we don't know them really well, we don't know what problem they have. And oftentimes we know them really well because we were them at some point in our journey. So I encourage you to explore that as well. Okay, number 4, mistake number 4. Trying to find people to sell stuff to instead of making yourself findable for people who are looking for your solution. So lots of people tell me all the time, where can I find these people? Where can I find these ideal clients? You need to put yourself in front of these ideal clients rather than trying to find them. You want to make yourself findable, and we make ourselves findable by through content, really, through our blogs, through lives, through Facebook. So you basically put yourself out there, and from that point, people find you. So when people are looking for you, what do? They do a Google search. They'll do a Google search. They'll do a Google search on your keywords. They'll search on Instagram. They'll search on Facebook. They'll search on YouTube. So that means you putting content out there in places where people are searching for you. In groups where your ideal client are. So valuable content. Be a producer, not a consumer. That is one of the key principles that I live by. I don't spend a lot of time consuming materials unless it's like valuable materials from podcasts or books or mentors. I don't scroll endlessly through Facebook or LinkedIn. I'm more of a producer. So I produce every single day. I create posts, I create lives like this, I create a blog. So this be a producer. And once you start getting content out there that's really valuable to people, people will find you, and they will come and want to know more about you and eventually work with you. So stop trying to find people to sell stuff and instead make yourself findable for people who are looking for you, for people who are looking for the solution to the problem that you solve. Does that make sense? Will this change how you put yourself out there, I wonder? Will it alleviate some of the pressure of finding people? So something to think about when I ask you these questions. So the next and final mistake that I'm going to talk about this morning is trying to get people to buy instead of creating an environment that makes people feel like buying. So I'm going to say that one again because it's a little bit long-winded. Trying to get people to buy instead of creating an environment that makes people feel like buying. How many of you have ever been at an event and listened to somebody speaking who never once mentioned anything about selling anything to you, and you went and searched afterwards to find out, how can I work with this person? How can I buy their thing? How can I spend more time with them? Those people have created an environment where basically you want to buy from them instead, of them selling to you. So in your communities, in your posts, in your wherever it is that you put your content, you want to create an environment where people feel safe, people can ask you questions, people want to spend more time with you. Because if you don't create that kind of environment, you're going to lose people very quickly. People will move on. They won't watch your stuff because they know that you're going to come along and you're going to do a hard sell to them, or they don't feel like buying from you. So what you want to do, if you look at the experts around the world who are the richest people in the world, you want to spend, in many cases, more time with them because they provide such valuable content. They're always saying something that will help you. They're always advancing you and encouraging you to think outside the box, to try something new. They're always helping you basically improve the quality of your life and get more from your life. So providing an environment like this, people will feel like buying from you, and they'll come and they'll find you and they'll ask, how can I work with you? So you can see out of those 5 mistakes, none of them are high pressure selling techniques, are they? They're all encouraging you to move away from a hard sell and to move into serving, move into really providing a safe environment and a safe place where people can explore going further with you. So, which of the 5 mistakes do you make, and which one are you looking at fixing? So I'm going to repeat the 5 mistakes again. Mistake number 1, thinking that selling is something you do to people, not for people. Not making enough offers. Number 3, selling what you desire to sell instead of what the marketplace wants to buy. Number 4, trying to find people to sell stuff to instead of making yourself findable for people who are looking for your solution. Number 5, trying to get people to buy instead of creating an environment that makes people feel like buying. So those are 5, mistakes that I see all the time, and that actually there should be some relief around knowing what these 5 mistakes are, because it allows you to take the pressure off yourself around selling and focus on what to do instead. So, any comments? People want solutions. Number 2 and 3. So number 2 is not making enough offers, and number 3 is selling what you desire to sell instead of what the marketplace wants to buy. Amazing. Julie's saying it all makes perfect sense. Cooloid is saying thank you. I'm not sure if that is your first name, so maybe you can let me know what your first name is. So one of the other things that you can do is to really understand how you manage and how you are motivated around money. So one of the things that I have been geeking out on recently is the Sacred Money Archetypes, which is a money personality classification system. And I have actually created a really, really cool quiz where you can go in and you can discover what your money personality is. And understanding and knowing your money personality helps you understand what your basic motivation is around money. And it helps you to understand what your gifts are, what your strengths are, but also what your challenges are. And one of the things I encourage people to do is to really understand themselves, understand their own money personality, so they can use that in a positive way in the world. So there's 8 different money personality types, and it's really quite accurate and fascinating stuff. So if you haven't taken the quiz already, I'm now going to pop the quiz in here, a link for the quiz. I think I've copied it already. So yes, I have copied. Oh no, it's the wrong link. I can see it here. I'm going to pop the link for the quiz in here if I can find it. Sorry, I have to go in and find the link again because I've shut down the screen. So I'm just going to go in and find the link for the quiz. So you can go in and actually see what your sacred money archetype is. I found out about this initially in about 2019, and it made a huge difference to understand what my basic money DNA is, what is my basic motivation. Because everyone is born with a money personality. Like I have 2 boys, and they're actually totally different. One is a complete and utter accumulator. The other is a total maverick, and he can't wait to spend his money. So I'm just trying to get a link for the quiz here now as we speak. So you can actually go in and take the quiz, and you get a personalized report right there and then. Or it's also sent to your email, so you don't have to stress, if you don't have time to read it immediately. So I'm just going to put it in here now. Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to find the quiz in there now. I've popped it in there now. So it's basically the Sacred Money Archetypes quiz. Christine is saying it's know, like, and trust. Absolutely. So actually next week, what I'm going to do here in the group is I'm going to go through the basic different sacred money archetypes. So if you have the quiz done for next week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the different types, and I'm going to talk about the different types, your challenges, where you're coming from, and really how to use the different sacred money archetypes with with your business and how to use it in a way that feels right for you. Danielle is saying, thank you, you're very welcome. Julie is saying, thank you, you're very welcome. Lucy says, sometimes it takes patience. There may be many conversations before someone commits to working with you. The truth is, Lucy, people have to get to know you. Very few people will just buy right off the bat. And that's why, you know, content is so important. That's why in your, you know, in your email marketing, why you take people from cold to warm. That's one of the things I work with in my success school to help you to create, you know, content and email sequences to allow people to get to know you. And oftentimes that's what we call content marketing, really. It's providing content, and it's also providing what I said there in mistake number 5, an environment where people feel like they can trust you, they can ask questions, and they can understand what you provide, and if you can indeed help them solve their problem. So guys, that was my short, sharpish session for today. I think there's a lot in there, honestly. I think there's a lot in what I talked about this morning, and it may take you a while to digest it. What I suggest you do is go away and take the money personality quiz, get your report, and come next week to this session with your questions. And I'll be very, very happy to learn or to help you. So a question for you, how many in here have taken the quiz already? I know some of you have taken the quiz already. If you have taken the quiz already, brilliant. The more you hear about this stuff, the more you're going to learn. So still join next week, come along next week and find out the next steps to take so that you get more ease, more grace around selling and serving. So thank you to everyone who joined me this morning. #replay for anyone who's watching it on replay. And I look forward to catching up again next week. I'm doing actually a session in my success school as well during the week. So anyone that's in my success school, I'll see you on Tuesday. Anyone who's here in the free group, I'll see you next Friday. Have a brilliant weekend ahead, and I will catch you all again really soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.